Hey guys, Matthew Cobb with the Cobb Home Team. I'm here again with Candace Coleridge of Chicago Title, one of our trusted partners, talking about title insurance. You know, a lot of people ask me in a real estate transaction, what is title insurance and what it covers? Candace, can you tell us a little bit more about title insurance? What that policy is used for, who's paying for it in most real estate transactions, who it's benefiting, and what it covers.
Yeah, absolutely. So the title policy is insurance for the past.
Okay.
So we are making sure that a property is clean and clear and has no ghosts or skeletons to transfer to the new buyer. Traditionally in the state of Colorado, the seller pays for the title policy.
Correct.
Now, that being said, as a buyer, you will have a lender's policy as well, which is different. It still comes through us as title, but it is required by your lender if you are getting a mortgage for the property. So the lender's policy is paid for by the buyer. The owner's policy is paid for by the seller, but benefits the buyer because it's ensuring that the buyer has clean and clear title as they move forward. And then another part about that is you'll see OEC sometimes, well, all the time.
OEC stands for?
Owner's Extended Coverage.
Yep.
And so it is a very, very nominal additional fee, but some people will ask to have it waived because you're trying to save, right? All the pennies count in a transaction. We absolutely understand that. But what happens is when we do this title search and we've gone back and we've made sure everything's nice and clean and clear, and then you go to closing and you sign your paperwork, there is a gap between that time and the time that all the paperwork gets to the county and gets filed. So that gap is what OEC, Owner's Extended, covers to make sure that if any liens or anything was filed against the property in that time, you are still protected.
Okay. So title insurance is going to cover everything that's searchable at the county. Mm-hmm. So if you're buying a place in Denver County, your title insurance is going to cover any recorded liens on that property. And those might be liens from a water company, a mortgage, a second mortgage. Maybe you haven't paid taxes and the IRS has liened your property. Liens can run the gamut. So the title insurance policy that the seller's paying for, the more expensive one, what is typically the rate? Let's say a average home in Denver is $600,000 to $700,000. What do you think title insurance typically is going to cost?
It is scaled, but I would say that you're looking at $1,500 to $2,400, somewhere in that range.
That's what I see typically in that price point.
It really obviously depends on the property, but we are regulated by the government, so we don't make up rates. They are filed with the state and they are regulated, so everybody is playing on the same game.
Right.
Yeah, it's a level playing field.
So your title insurance policy is going to cover all of the past. I mean, literally since the settlers moved to Colorado.
Yeah, since your land was set.
Chicago's going to do a title search all the way back to find any of those liens and make sure that they're being paid at closing. So you as the buyer, this insurance policy is for your benefit. Know that you have free and clear title. The owner's extended coverage, though, the OEC, is basically the time from when you go into contract, or maybe just call it the last 30 days. If I went today to Jefferson County or Denver County here in the Denver metro area and recorded a lien on Candace's property, it may take 30 days to show up. So that OEC is a very small expense that you're going to sleep with peace of mind that nobody's gone out and filed another lien in the last 30 days right before sale. When is this important? I mean, anyone buying a flipped home or a home that's recently transferred previously, or maybe a home that there's been work done, or if it's a foreclosure home or an estate's home, maybe a bill hasn't been paid where those creditors will go back and put a lien on it. OEC is going to cover you as the buyer for this, and it's very important. I recommend it in all of my closings, but definitely ones where I know work has recently been done, and there may be a contractor out there that didn't get paid. That could come back on you if that gets recorded after the fact, but they started the recording process while you were in contract on the home.
Well, and that's what your title policy will cover too. If there was something that just didn't get recorded by the time we've started our search. So
it's going to cover it.
It's going to cover it, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Candace.